series 28 Faces of Love. And today we're going to be talking with another team member who played her part, played her role, and in the journey of Love 101 and to be a part of our story. I'm talking about Althea Morrison. Hello, Althea. How are you?
And it's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you too. It's been a minute, girl.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. But I hear you from time to time.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Now,
Mhm.
for those who don't know, Althea played the role of accountant for quite a few years here at Love 101. You know, we need to be, on par and make sure that everything is right and dandy. But Althea, I want to hear your story with about your journey at love. When you first heard, I have to ask everybody this. When you first hear about Love 101, what was the feeling? What was it, the feeling of excitement? Was it excitement? Was it, let's see what's going to happen? What's your story in terms of the when you first heard of love?
When I first heard of Love, oh yeah, it was quite exciting because I mean, a station that plays only gospel music, you didn't have to be, tuning in and out because you're not so sure you
Singing.
like this song or that song, but you could rely on, listening to all the songs because they were all pure. They were all, gospel, worshiping
Yes.
God, nothing to worry about, no censorship. So yes, it was exciting for people I know and myself and my mother in particular. She has her dial stuck on love. So yes,
Ah,
it was really exciting.
yes, yes,
hmm
yes. So you come now and you start your journey at Love FM. What are some of the memories that stand out for you in your journey at Love? You were with us at Carlton Crescent. I'm trying to remember. Did you
I
start at
was.
Carlton?
Oh yes, I did. And I remember the first morning. I remember my first morning. I always tell
Yes.
people that love found me, the way I don't know if we would have time
Um,
for that, but the way that I got the job, I always say that it was love that found me. I didn't find
how
love.
so? How so?
Yeah,
Describe that.
because I was in between jobs at the time,
Mhm.
and my brother had just got married, so the whole family was in a euphoria, and
Yes.
so I lost my job. It didn't bother me right away because I was just so elated about the whole celebration. But then
Yes.
after, reality hits in, you have to get a job. And I was a little embarrassed. I didn't even tell anybody that I was unemployed. And so one day I was at home, the phone rang, and the person was surprised to hear me. And of course, I couldn't hide the fact that I'm out of a job. I couldn't lie. I said, why am I at home? So I said, I'm
Yes.
not working. And the person said, love needs an accountant. Why don't you
Wow.
drop out and pay? Yeah, and I didn't even put on decent clothes, as they would say. I just put on
You
a
were
jeans pants and a regular blouse, dropped off the resume, and
yes.
it was Catherine at the time who was a
Yes.
receptionist.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So I was handing her the letter, and I was about to leave, and she said, "No, hold on." So I said, "Okay, but I'm not really dressed properly now." But she said, "Okay, man, just hold on." So she went around to Mr. Ridgard, and then she came back and said, "Mr. Ridgard wants to see me." So I said, "No, I'm not dressed. I'm not dressed for anything." He said, "No, it's all right." So I sheepishly went in to his office, but Mr. Ridgard care about that at all. He just know he needed an accountant. Mr.
Yes.
Bandu was leaving soon, and he needed an accountant really fast. And he looked over the resume and said, and said, "Yeah, well, this looks all right. When can you start?"
In the jeans and thing.
Yes, well,
Oh
of course,
wow.
I didn't start the same day, but about 2 days later, I turned
Yes.
up, and I remember vividly it was raining really hard, but
Yeah.
didn't bother me. I was so excited and nervous at the same time that I was
Yeah.
gonna be working at the Love 101 station. I mean, what?
Yes.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got 1 month of training from Mr. Bandu. We had to be rushing because he was about to migrate. So, I had to learn everything really fast. And
Yes.
so we did. And Mr. Ridgard said, so, how is it? How is it? And Mr. Bandu said, yeah, she'll do. So that, so that was the beginning of my journey at Love. Yes.
Oh my. Love really found you.
Yes, yes. I tell everybody that Love found me. And of
That's
course,
so beautiful.
and when my friends hear that I'm at Love, I mean, oh, I'm like a star.
Yeah. It's a blessing. It really is a blessing to, be able to work here. Share with us some of the memories that you have, some of those happy days. I know there were low moments, 'cause everywhere you go, you have low moments, but share some of the happy highlights that you remember back in the day.
Oh, wow. Well, Love FM, there is never a dull moment at Love. I mean, there's always a hub of activities. I
Yeah.
enjoyed going to the different activities, even though I worked in the accounts department, tucked away at the back. Whenever there were activities, I enjoyed coming out of the little hole and
Yeah.
sharing. I looked forward to getting free tickets to go to the different concerts. I went to the Toby's Denby Agricultural Show.
Yes.
I love in the yard, the back to school projects. I love all the
Talk
outside broad.
about love in the yard. What do you
Uh,
remember about that?
Love in the yard. I look forward to the concert section. I look forward to there was a candy making lady, I think, yes, and
Yes.
she yes, and there were persons who would sell gizzada and drops and all of those things. So it had a cultural feel that I really love. Independence is
Yes.
one of my favorite holidays, and so I used
Yes.
to look forward to whenever we hosted something for Independence Holiday. So it had that
Yes.
cultural feel, that I
That's
enjoy,
true.
and I
That's
loved
true.
going to ACDC activities too. So anything love was involved in, I was involved in it. So
Easy.
even though I was in accounts, I was always drawn into the
Yes.
excitement outside of the accounts department. The accounts department itself had its own little amusement too. I mean, some of the clients were, um, should I say, interesting. One thing um, I remember one Friday, I happened to be in the office late, and most persons would have already left. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a client comes in to make a payment. So I'm saying, okay, I'm not going to turn away money. I'm not going to turn away a customer.
After
So I
all.
invited them in, and Nadine, the gentleman, paid me in coins, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and it was all in coins. I
Wow.
Yes, I was upset at first, but then I found it amusing. And I said,
And then you have
he's
to
paying
count all of that.
count all of them. Everybody else had left. I was the only one. I had to count it. But I was happy because he was paying his bill because,
Yes.
bills have to be paid. So I didn't mind. But yeah,
Yes.
I've had some interesting times. As you mentioned, there have been challenges as well. But the Lord has always proven himself to be faithful. And there were times when we would go to the brink, of needing money, and the Lord would just almost at the last minute just open a way. So we were always grateful to the Lord for
That
making
is good.
provision.
Why
So yes.
people wouldn't know the challenges, but I think every business goes through a rough spot, but you come out, you bounce back, and you come back
Oh yes,
better.
definitely.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
beautiful.
Yeah. And I also remember the bush crew. We used to go different places.
Bush
Yeah.
crew, is that the
Yes.
crew? Is that the crew that used to go and look for crab?
I don't know about the crab, but I went on two of them. Um, but they went to other places. I think they were going to many places long before I got there. So I only
Yes.
caught the tail end of it. But the little I got, I truly enjoyed it.
And what
Hmm.
is the essence of the bush crew for those who don't know? That's just a part of the staff that did fun stuff.
Yeah, just went out, found adventure. I mean, it was literally bush. We would go into the bush.
I used to
I think
complain, with Earl, because Earl would always find some fun stuff to do, and then I was stuck left in the studio to do Inner Glow, and I was always complaining. I'm like, y'all just leaving me here alone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. It was always adventurous, and there was one that was bordering on dangerous, but we won't go there. But it was adventure.
Althea, I tell you, thank you for sharing that. Those are the things, that keep us laughing through hard times, smiling
Mhm.
through rough times. And you
Yeah,
sit back years later and you look at them and you go, thank God for those times indeed.
oh
Love
yeah,
101 is celebrating 28 years, 28
right.
years of service. What is your prayer for Love 101 at this time?
Oh, my prayer for love. I want us to not only survive, I want us to thrive. I want us to prosper. And Nadine, Colleen might be listening and she gonna tease me because I still say us. She said, Althea, you
No,
still
no,
say
no.
us?
I was waiting on you to pause, and I was going to say, I like that you are saying us.
She always teases me. So, but yes, yeah, a little bit of me is still there.
Yeah,
And yes, I would love for love to thrive and prosper and
yeah,
always be that beacon that the nation really needs. I
mhm,
mean, we live in such crazy times. It's as if whatever is supposed to be good, people are seeing it as bad. Everything
yeah,
just seems to be backwards. But Love FM needs to stand its ground and stick to the word of God, continue with the preaching programs and playing those musics that are so soothing to all of us. So I
yeah,
want love to always be above and playing the undiluted gospel of Jesus Christ and
amen.
and and not be offended by what people say, but just to stand our ground. That is what
Yes.
I want for
Well, the
yes.
theme for this year, is we stand. So
We
stand our
stand.
ground, we will,
Oh yes.
by
Oh
God's
yes.
grace, indeed.
Oh, definitely. Love is like a precious gem. The harder you rub it, is the brighter it's gonna shine.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. I love it.
God.
Thank you so much, Althea. And you know what? I pray for you. I pray you all the best indeed. And
Mhm.
keep saying us. I like it. Every blessing, my dear. Thank you so much.
You too. It was truly a nice surprise to have been invited in this batch of 28. It's a
And
short
guess what?
list.
There are so many persons, my dear, and persons are calling already and saying, how come we don't get my interview? But there are so many persons. I mean, when we look at the names, at first I was like, but we're not gonna find 28. You're right. There are so many persons who have walked through, yeah,
Oh,
in
yeah.
different ways.
Yes, and Nadine, I'm particularly appreciative of the opportunity because sometimes the team in the accounts department is left out because we're behind the scenes. So the
But it's
listeners,
behind the scene, but you made the foundation.
so I appreciate it. So on behalf
Yes,
of all those who pass through the accounts department, I thank you
yes,
so very much.
no problem, my darling. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
That we are